Learn to live without anyone, 10 Secrets of Inner Peace Stoicism. What if the most important relationship in your life is the one you have with yourself? Most people spend decades chasing approval, company, and reassurance, terrified of being alone with their own mind. But here is the truth the Stoics understood 2,000 years ago. Learning to live without anyone is not about loneliness. It is about freedom. When you no longer need someone to complete you, calm you, or validate you, every relationship in your life becomes a choice instead of a chain. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the world, wrote that nowhere can a person retreat to more peace than into their own soul. That retreat, that inner citadel, is available to you right now. Here are 10 secrets to building it. Secret number 1. Learn to enjoy your own company. Ask yourself an uncomfortable question. If you had to spend an entire weekend alone, no phone, no distractions, would you enjoy it or dread it? Seneca wrote to his friend Lucilius that the sign of a settled mind is the ability to remain in one place and linger in your own company. Most people flee from themselves. They fill silence with noise because silence forces them to hear their own thoughts. Start small. Take yourself to dinner. Walk without headphones. Sit with your morning coffee and just think. At first it feels strange, even painful. But slowly, something shifts. You stop being someone you avoid and become someone you actually like spending time with. That is the foundation everything else is built on. Secret number 2. Stop outsourcing your happiness. Epictetus taught that some things are within our control and some things are not. Other people, their moods, their attention, their loyalty, sit firmly in the second category. When you make your happiness depend on a partner texting back, a boss noticing your work, or a friend remembering your birthday, you hand strangers the keys to your inner state. Think about the last time someone's silence ruined your entire day. They probably were not even thinking about you. They were stuck in traffic or buried in their own problems. Meanwhile you suffered for hours over a story you invented. Take the keys back. Let people add to your happiness, but never let them be the source of it. Secret number 3. Upgrade your inner dialogue. You spend more time talking to yourself than to anyone else on earth. So ask yourself, would you tolerate a friend who spoke to you the way you speak to yourself? Marcus Aurelius filled his private journal with reminders, corrections, and encouragement, coaching himself like a trainer coaches an athlete. That journal became the book we now call Meditations. He understood that the soul takes on the color of its thoughts. If your inner voice is a critic, you will never feel at peace, no matter who surrounds you. Practice catching the harsh voice and answering it. Replace, "I always mess things up," with, "I made a mistake and I will correct it." The quality of your solitude depends entirely on the quality of that conversation. Secret number 4. Choose self-approval over validation. Notice what happens in your body when a post gets ignored, when a joke falls flat, when a room does not warm to you. That sting is the hunger for validation, and it never gets full. Marcus Aurelius marveled at how much people crave the praise of others, even the praise of people they do not respect, while caring so little for their own opinion of themselves. Flip that. Set your own standard before you start the day. Did I act with honesty? Did I do the work? Did I keep my word? If the answer is yes, the verdict is in, and no amount of applause or silence from the crowd can change it. Approval from yourself is the only review that matters. Secret number 5. Build routines that do not depend on others. Here is a quiet trap most people never notice. Their entire life runs on other people's schedules. They exercise only if a friend joins them. They eat well only when someone cooks. They feel motivated only when someone is watching. Then the friend cancels, and the whole structure collapses. The Stoics trained daily, alone, in what they called ascesis, deliberate practice. Seneca reviewed his day every night before sleep, asking what he did well and where he failed. No accountability partner required. Build your own scaffolding. A morning walk. A written plan. An evening review. When your habits belong to you alone, no cancellation, breakup, or move to a new city can take them away. Secret number 6. Make peace with being misunderstood. One of the deepest needs humans carry is the need to be understood. And one of the fastest paths to freedom is releasing it. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that he would meet meddling, ungrateful, and dishonest people every single day, and that their opinions could not touch his character. You will explain yourself perfectly and still be misjudged. Family members will question your choices. Colleagues will misread your intentions. You can spend your life defending your reputation in courtrooms that never adjourn, or you can let your actions speak and walk on. When you no longer need everyone to get it, you stop editing yourself for an audience. And that is when you finally meet the real you. Secret number 7. Master the art of emotional self-regulation. When something upsets most people, their first instinct is to reach for someone. Call a friend. Vent to a partner. Post about it. There is nothing wrong with support, but if you cannot calm your own storm, you are a ship that only sails when someone else holds the wheel. Epictetus taught that it is not events that disturb us, but our judgments about events. That means the storm starts inside you, and it can end inside you. Next time anger or anxiety hits, pause before reaching for your phone. Breathe. Name the judgment driving the feeling. Ask, is this within my control? Handle the first wave yourself. You will be amazed how often the wave passes before you ever needed rescue. Secret number 8. Practice voluntary solitude before life forces it on you. Seneca practiced voluntary poverty, living on plain food and rough clothes for days, so that fortune could never frighten him with the question, is this what you feared? Apply the same training to solitude. Do not wait for a breakup, a move, or a loss to discover whether you can stand on your own. Choose it in small doses now. Travel alone once. Spend a weekend in your own company. Watch the movie nobody else wanted to see. Each rehearsal builds proof that you survive, even thrive, alone. Then when life eventually empties a chair at your table, and it will, you meet that moment as a trained person, not a drowning one. Secret number 9. Anchor yourself in purpose, not people. People move away. They change. They pass on. If your reason for getting up in the morning is a person, your foundation is standing on ground you do not control. The Stoics anchored themselves in something steadier, their duty and their character. Marcus Aurelius rose before dawn reminding himself that he was getting up to do the work of a human being. Not for applause. Not for company. For the work itself. Find your version of that work. A craft you are honing. A skill you are building. A contribution only you can make. When your days are organized around purpose, other people become welcome guests in your life rather than the walls holding it up. Secret number 10. Build the inner citadel. This is the master secret that contains all the others. Marcus Aurelius wrote that people seek retreats in the countryside, by the sea, in the mountains, and he called this longing foolish, because you can retreat into your own mind at any hour you choose. That inner fortress is the one place no rejection, no betrayal, no empty apartment can invade, unless you open the gates yourself. Build it brick by brick. Every judgment you question, every emotion you regulate, every quiet evening you learn to enjoy adds a stone to the wall. Then carry it everywhere. In a crowded office or an empty house, you are never without shelter, because the shelter is you. Now, one final truth, and it matters. None of this means becoming a hermit. The Stoics were not loners. Marcus Aurelius wrote that we were made for cooperation, like hands, like feet, like rows of teeth. Seneca treasured his friends and wrote them letters we still read today. The difference is this. They loved people without leaning on them. Healthy self-sufficiency is not isolation. It is showing up to relationships full instead of empty, giving instead of grasping. Learn to live without anyone, not so that you end up alone, but so that when you choose people, and they choose you, it is love speaking, not need. That is the quiet, unshakable peace the Stoics promised. And it starts the next time you find yourself alone, and smile.